All right, in this video, we're only doing 2 this week, not doing 3. We're going to meet the Native Americans in the Dinosaur Swamp. We're going to take a look at 4 prominent gangs of Char. Is it Char or Char? Because I mean, it's Charlotte. I don't know. And discover 101, maybe even more, adventure ideas or Dalmatians for your Dinosaur Swamp campaigns.
That was the wrong one.
That was the wrong
one. That was the wrong one. Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's his first time. Be nice.
Wait for it.
The best tabletop RPG groups follow these core values to respect the campaign setting, the game, and the people at the table. Refer to the URL in the video's description to donate to the charity we support, the Wounded Warrior Project. Sunday on Rumble and YouTube, we provide tabletop RPG game, system, and setting overviews. Then on Friday, a panel of guests editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Thursdays and Saturdays are when Heathen Dog leads his Dirty Casuals video game squad on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. Please like and share this video with your friends and on social media, and subscribe to Legion of Myth for more tabletop RPG content. All right, so one of the issues with this book and doing it in the overview format is that it is dense with information in a good way. In a good way. A lot of meaningful content here. So if you're a fan of this book, if you love it and you decide to make a comment, so much you missed, you didn't cover about the Native Americans, you are correct. I'm only going to wet your whistle a little bit on this one. So let's get to, what page was that? Like 65-ish? You don't want to go to page 65? There you go. Okay, there we go, 67. And we'll zoom in. So we'll just put that picture up there for now. So while Native Americans suffered massive death and suffering just like everyone else, because remember, we talked about that in the last time. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago because we had Sean on 2 weeks ago. We talked about the barbarians more so than, white man, Appalachia. Well, now we're talking about the Native American side, and they suffered just as badly as everybody else. Okay, but they did have one small advantage when it came to the New World, and that's shamanism and spirit magic. And guess what's not in this book?
Shamanism and spirit magic?
Right.
Where is it?
It's in the first book. It's in the first book.
Sure.
It makes a lot more sense that it's in the first book now, too. So we're going to start reading here. We're going to read a little paragraph that will hopefully give you an idea what's going on. Yeah, with that first one, hit that first paragraph right there. So with dozens of barbarian tribes, the city of Char, homesteaders, freeholders, explorers, adventurers, and uncounted dinosaurs and other creatures populating the swamps and forests, it might seem that Native Americans are not represented in Dinosaur Swamp, or because they just weren't put in the first book. Nothing could be further from the truth. Dinosaur Swamp is home to several small tribes of Native Americans and is also home to Camp Cherokee Preserve. However, anyone expecting Camp Cherokee and the surrounding Native American tribes to resemble their cousins of the Great Plains and further west would be making a false assumption. Of course, like Spirit West and New West and whatever else books. So, the Big Cypress Indian Reservation is in Florida, as well as their smaller reservations in the Carolinas, and those were mostly wiped out by the Great Cataclysm. The Cherokee reservations in North Carolina were forced to flee to the mountains due to floods, earthquakes, and de-shifting. If this sounds familiar to you, like you said this in Dinosaur Swamp, for the barbarians, and yeah, the same things happened to the same people. A tiny handful of folks survived, and no one knows what happened to them. However, in 109 PA, was that post-apocalypse?
Yep.
They're only represented by the pure ones, which, to be honest, I'm not going to dive into a lot here.
Well, I'll just tell it right now. The pure ones are people from the past that the spirits, whoever and whatever they may be, took out of time and placed here to let the current Native Americans learn how magic worked before, so it wouldn't die out, to give them a fighting chance. So they're considered the pure ones because they are from the 1800s, whatever, and brought into now. So there you go.
Okay. Well, that's a better explanation than I would have been given. So the Native Americans in the Dark Age actually talks a little bit about what Heathen Dog said. This section is so informational and dives into Cherokee spirituality. I can't explain it without reading it directly, and this is an overview. I'm not going to do that. The quick version is the Nunahi. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. A race of immortal spirit people in Cherokee mythology brought the ancients back from the spirit world. This is the pure ones I think that he was talking about. Yep. These ancients were not prepared for post-cataclysmic diseases, and nearly any contact with others devastated the ancients. At first, I was like, that's a pretty dick move. Yeah. But then I realized Kevin and what's the name? This guy's name Toho that wrote this book. If I got his name wrong, again, sorry. But they're using historical reference here. What happened to a lot of Native Americans when Westerners came to the New World or South America?
Smallpox works great.
It wasn't just smallpox, but right, exactly. So a lot of the subtleties of history are played out in any of the world books. And you can see it when we cover Rifts Africa or Rifts Australia, or, et cetera. A lot of those idiosyncrasies are covered, and this book is no different. Now, other Native Americans rediscovered their historical, traditional ways and used magic as a necessary tool to save lives. In fact, medicine man is a thing. Healing magic is something that actually the Native Americans are really good at. But these traditionalists have also become very isolationist, especially to non-tribe members.
Well, if their most revered people shake hands with someone and then just die, I'd be a little secretive too. I'd be like standoff. I'm like, you go away.
The reason why I highlighted that last sentence there is because it's not just to barbarians. It's not just to weirdos coming from the coalition. It's even to other people not from their tribe. So
who knows what they touched?
Yeah, well, right, and that's going to be a big prevalent factor here. So you got Camp Cherokee. That's the main camp. It's in South Carolina, or what was South Carolina. 6,500 permanent residents. 100% Cherokee Native American. 100%. 65% are traditionalists. 25% are pure ones. 10% are renegades. Again, we're not going to really talk about that, but think of them as the postmodernist movement of.
We already did talk about them. In I don't want a previous thing. What was it? Spirit West. I think we did talk about them. The traditionalist, pure ones, and renegades.
Oh, so okay. Well, I don't pay attention to Spirit West, so I guess they're using the same terms then.
Right, they're using the same terms. Traditionalists are just what you think. They live and act just like the pure ones did those hundreds of years ago. And the pure ones, obviously, they're from the past, so that's what they do. And the renegades eschew the magic and spirituality of their people and embrace technology. That's basically it.
And this is why I bring Heathen Dog around, because I'm not a Rifts guy. So he can clarify these things. I'm covering Rifts books that I probably shouldn't, but I want to be very honest. I love these two books. I really do. I thought these two books, Dinosaur Swamp and Adventures in Dinosaur Swamp, were fantastic. Average transient population, 150 to 200. Now, these are other Cherokees who are coming in and out, out of towners, right? Tech level low, primitive, very high magic, but has the capability of high tech modern, and that's just because they're humans. But what holds them back are the traditionalists.
Yes.
Are the traditionalists right? Yes. Are the modernist movement? Is the modernist movement right? Yes. That's kind of the problem. Is they're both right?
Yeah, both will work. Both viewpoints will get their tribe to the future, but it means sacrificing something from one or the other, and they're not willing to compromise on that.
All right. It says here I'm supposed to read something else. Page 69. 69, dude. Okay. Camp Cherokee is located on the fringes of the Steel Tree Forest. Remember this whole Steel Tree thing from the last book, which is they're mega damaged trees.
Yep.
Giving them easy access to mega damaged lumber to construct their houses and fortifications. Hey, that's nice, right? In a world where it's trying to eat you constantly, having a mega damaged house is probably a good thing. That Tyrannosaurus Rex isn't going to just stomp on it and turn it into kindling. At least not in one step.
Not in one hit, but he's got to work on it.
You're right. Yeah. Plant shamans revere the steel trees as they would a millennium tree. And I know you've talked about that before. What's a millennium tree?
A millennium tree is a living giant MDC tree that has its own mind and its own wants and values, and can punish or reward characters who help the people that surround it or help it or whatever. So it's more of a higher level being type
What
thing.
book is that in? I know you covered it.
Oh, it's in the millennium trees are in a lot of books.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, they're in a lot of books. But plant shamans are just jokes, apparently, because these steel trees and millennium trees are two big different things. And steel trees are just trees that are mega damaged. Why would you worship that? You're an idiot. You're a fool.
Well, they believe that there's you have such great segues and don't even realize. They believe there's a deeper spirit locked away within the mysterious alien trees. Thus far, no one has succeeded in making contact with the supposed
because
spirit.
it's not there. It's stupid.
But there are always plant shamans willing to try. While the inhabitants of Camp Cherokee will use steel tree lumber for construction, they regard the practice of forging steel tree lumber as impure barbarian magic, too close to technology, and it is shunned by the traditionalists and pure ones.
Yeah, whatever.
Renegades, however, love the forge items and have spent years trying to discover the secrets of their manufacture. So yeah. You can read the rest of the paragraph if you really care, but the point is I wanted to show that that the idea between the traditionalists and the modernists, they have different philosophical beliefs, and it is causing some potential forward-looking issues that you can use for adventures. Mm-hmm. So there's a kinship between the native shamans and the eco-wizards. Though isolationism prevents any normalized exploration of this magic, there are individuals who will forsake their home and family to learn eco-wizardry, but that's the price you pay for it. And you have to understand, there's a reason why they're this isolationist. All right, so what's the next thing that I'm reading? Smallpox. Page 70, column 2, paragraph 4. That's 70, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yep. All right. While the setting within Camp Cherokee and the immediate surrounding village is idyllic and peaceful, the Cherokee of Dinosaur Swamp do not see the outside world in the same light. They're openly hostile toward nearby Lumbee, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, Catawba and Creek tribes. Well, I would say that it's kind of a little more the other way around, but okay. The Lumbee and the Catawba, I hope I'm saying that right, are they're kill them all and let the spirit sort them out.
Okay.
They do not suffer an intruder ever. Where Cherokee, well, we'll get to that in a moment. They're a little nicer. The Cherokee are also hostile towards native barbarian tribes, although their mastery of eco-wizardry keeps them from declaring them complete savages. Consequently, Camp Cherokee practices little in the way of trade, operating in a closed market system with other Cherokee villages in the surrounding countryside.
So they're really big on get off my lawn.
They are, but they're nicer about it than the rest of them. So the Cherokee rarely capture people in battle. And when they do, they generally set them free instead of taking them anywhere near Camp Cherokee. They're like, nope. Yeah. So if they don't kill you for whatever reason, if they do capture you, they're like, go run in the woods. Good luck.
Yeah, they'll take all your gear, all your stuff, and then tell you to hoof it.
Yep. The Cherokee view of the city of Char is as a blight upon the land, overflowing with filth and trespassers. In opposition to the traditionalist majority, modernists see Char as a path to a successful future, and therein lies some potential adventure hooks for you. Mm-hmm. As for the other tribes, the Lumbee, who are 100% pure ones, are militant isolationists who kill trespassers.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the pure ones die of the common cold, so yeah, kill them before they can touch you or breathe on you or cough or whatever. I understand that. That's just to stay alive. I get it.
Well, the Catawba are just the same. The Creek, on the other hand, live in quiet seclusion and anonymity. They basically stay safe by you don't know that they're there.
That's a way to go too.
Yes. Now, there are 10 pages devoted to the Okmulgee. Again, if I'm saying all this stuff around, put it in a comment. Mountain Complex. I'm not going to cover it here, but as an important part of the setting, I wanted to mention that the couple of paragraphs from the first book are expanded upon greatly here. Also, the city of Char has given another 12 pages to the personality, dedicated mostly to personalities and the gangs, and we are going to talk about the gangs. So let me get to page 91. All right. Nope, those are more personalities. Lots of NPCs in this book, and I don't care, but I get it. And if you really want to deal with Char, and you really want to deal with the mounds, then the NPCs are going to be helpful for you. So, all right. Scroll down here. There are easily 24 gangs active in Char, but there are only 4 that dominate the streets: the Gearheads, the Orphans, the Raptor Claws, and the Concrete Vipers. These are names straight out of
Concrete Vipers. What? Warriors, come out to play. Come on, man.
Each gang has over 100 known members, as well as controlling as many as 6 to 8 smaller gangs whose membership range from 12 to 48, mainly low-level thugs, wannabes, and street punks. All right, so we're going to read the first paragraph of each gang just to give you an idea, and then I got a little blurb. But the Gearheads deal heavily in stolen vehicles, but their favorite pastime is cyber snatching.
Cyber snatching. That sounds awesome.
Not quite as old or as powerful as the Concrete Vipers, they're perhaps the most feared gang for their sheer amount of personal firepower, ferocity, and violence. Well, if you're going to go after Borgs, you better come in with some...
Yeah, if you're going to go after a cybered up headhunter or a Borg, you have to have shock and awe. You really do. You need it.
Yes. They're basically cybernetic Mad Max vehicle junkies.
Sure.
It's the road hogs of Dinosaur Swamp.
There has to be one guy standing on a vehicle that spouts fire, and he's playing a saxophone.
Yeah,
no
you're
shit.
Right. And you know what? That would fit riffs.
Yep.
All right, the Orphans gang. Perhaps the most nihilistic of the games operating in Char, the Orphans are also the most exclusive. Membership into the gang is limited to children of explorers, outsiders, and locals whose parents have either died or abandoned them. Your kid, go there. On the streets of Char. Thus, the members are orphans who see the gang as their new family.
Okay.
It's basically a child mafia that acts like a collection of wolf packs. Some are savage and others are not. They're reasonable. So each little pack is different.
Own unit.
Yes. But they all come together when it comes to their own gang.
Mommy and daddy died or couldn't pay to feed me and just threw me in the street. One of those two.
I think this picture, says it all. The little Lord of the Flies thing's going on there. Okay, Raptor Claws. The newest of the gangs, Raptor Claws, developed when 2 smaller gangs merged into one gang. Originally, the Raptors and the Claws. Hey, weird. The 2 gangs merged their names when they consolidated forces, showing an unusual amount of initiative and trust. The 2 gangs united
in order to keep from being wiped out.
Thank you. I cannot see the word keep. It does not want to register in my brain. Keep being wiped out by the ever-rising power of the Concrete Vipers. Both gangs have been losing territory as the Concrete Vipers rose in power and were being decimated piecemeal by the other gangs. Thus, the Raptors and Claws came to the conclusion that they had to unite or perish. That's a little bit of a false set of information there. They are still in the process of feeling each other out, and they have a little bit of my gang's better than your gang.
Sure, that's going to happen for a while.
Yes, but they are the leaders in organized crime and the black market. So if you're an outsider and you want to get a little, something, this is where you go.
Sure.
Actually, I said that wrong. My note's backward here. I screwed up. They're actually the kidnappers and slavers who deal with the Atlanteans.
Oh, well, never mind. That's a turn of events. That happened.
Yep.
That's way different. That's way different.
That was my fault. I had my note backward here. So no, the Raptor Claws are kidnappers and slavers who deal with the Atlanteans.
All right, burn them down. Got it. Check.
And I spoiled it already. The
Concrete Vipers.
Yeah, the Viper gang or the Concrete Vipers. They're the ones that are leaders in organized crime and the black market.
Okay.
So, but let's read what it says here. Are the dominant gang in charge. They have a power base strong enough to maintain the Night's Rest Inn and several other rat holes, safe houses, and hideouts near the heart of the city. They have a virtual monopoly in extortion, racketeering, prostitution, and real estate, shaking down squatters in the heart of Char and the burbs, and deal heavily in stolen merchandise and vice.
Wow.
They
deal in all the things that I like.
There you go. They're the gang's gang, right?
Yeah.
One of the oldest gangs and one of the most organized. They have held on to power for several years in spite of having a notorious turnover rate for leaders.
Hey,
Yeah,
you live fast, you die fast. That's how it works.
There you go. They're highly sophisticated criminals, preferring to recruit new members who show real intelligence and cunning on the streets, valuing brains over brawn. This is not to say they don't induct the occasional bruiser or two, cannon fodder, right? As they still respect the need muscle, but they don't like to rely on it entirely.
Yeah, when you're going down a protection racket or something like that, which is what they say in real estate. It's actually a protection racket, and you send the brainy guy in there. Behind him and a little bit to the right is that big guy that you don't want to say no to. They're important.
Lots of personalities that it goes into here. Yes, even DBs.
God damn
it. Somebody killed something nasty.
That's great.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. The second Ninok. So we didn't talk about it even in the first one, but the lore behind the books are the Ninok expeditions. The first one, the first book was like the first expedition. The second one is the second expedition, sort of. So, and this is what I wanted to show earlier when I was talking about this earlier. These lines are major ley lines. So, and I forget which one this one is. Anyway, but the Camp Cherokee is on one. The Iron Forest is here. And all types of stuff about the expedition. I was thinking about debating covering this. Here's a robot that you can get that's actually made for stomping through the dinosaur swamp. We're not going to look at it, but it's in this book.
When in doubt, go big.
Yep. All right, page 126. We got to skip ahead a bunch of pages. Okay, was that the right? It's I wanted to start here. That's right. So this is where I think the format of the book goes a little south. We like to bust the balls of the editing of the books or the layout of the books. These books are laid out really well. I had a quibble at first about the RCCs being in all different locations of the books, but if you actually look at it, they're just with the creature type that was discussed at that time. So it actually made sense. You don't want to say, hey, go to the end of the book to find the RCC for this creature type. I get that. Or you don't necessarily want to. Here's where it gets weird, and here's why. So when we look at here, first, you see the hook, the line, and the sinker. Do you see anything that defines the hook, the line, and the sinker?
No, okay. But they have it in a lot of books. It's in I get it. Books.
I understand, but if I only have this one dimension book or this one world book, it is defined here, but it's not defined until much later. We'll get to it later. So that also, you see this adventure, you scratch my back, bring him back alive. You see these 6 adventures here, right?
Yep.
Well, then it goes into the 101 random adventures. Oh, and then it has 12 more of these hook, line, and sinker adventures.
Just split up. That wasn't good.
Not a big deal, to be fair, but it was really annoying. So let's I'm going to let you pick one. Pick one adventure of these 6 to look at.
Can I roll percentage?
Yeah, I don't care. Well, no, you're going to do that later.
Oh.
I want you to pick one of these 6 adventures.
Bring him back alive.
All right. So the idea here, the hook is, and I've got it here because we'll get to it before we get to it. The hook is the current situation or location of the adventure. So what's the hook of this one? Jillian has gone missing, along with the brushback and 2 of the family dogs. It's been 2 days and people are starting to worry. Could she have run away to see the world, simply gone off exploring? She's done that before. Or has some terrible fate befallen the girl? So this is the situation that's going. It's not necessarily with you, but it could be. It's a situation of, it's basically the background. Why should the players care? Do you? Well, I mean, it's a little girl that's lost. Maybe you don't. What's your alignment? Now, the line is the bait to lure the adventurers. When the player group arrives, they're grilled by the Carters and the Heinleins about who they've seen in the area. Has there been any trouble? Slavers, and so on. If the player characters seem honest, well, that rules on my group, concerned and trustworthy, the Carters, if not the Heinleins, will ask the group to help find the sweet child. True heroes will agree to do so without asking for anything in return. I can't see Heathen Dog's face, but I'm sure that he doesn't agree with that.
That doesn't make any sense.
Less honorable.
At the very least, I'm getting a child bride out of this. What?
Well.
Hey, this is riffs, buddy. Calm down.
See, less honorable characters may ask about a reward. The Heinleins will agree to make free repairs or give them common techno-wizard weapon or devices or their reward. Or as a reward. Payable upon safe return. Not up front, baby.
Nope, not up front.
Now, the sinker. This is the dilemma that makes the true adventure. The child didn't run away or go exploring. She was out playing with the brushback when they were led off by a small group of pucks. I think that's a creature.
Yes.
Oh, fairy folk. Okay. Fairy folk from the first book.
Yes.
Who make their lair at a nearby limestone cavern. They've only recently come to the region and have happened upon the girl purely by luck, as they see it. The pucks have already eaten the dogs and the brushback, but are still trying to decide what to do with the girl. Keep her as a slave, torture her first, then kill her, or what? This is the whole thing that you have time, but you don't know this. It's when you find this out, you're like, uh-oh, what are they going to do?
See, I would have gone a different way with this.
Okay.
But I want to punish the players a little bit. What I would have done is the hook, keep it the same. But
Okay.
I would make her 15. All right. Julian is 15.
Okay.
Now, families, there's 2 families there. What I would have done is, hey, the child's lost. She may have run away. She may have been taken. We don't know. Can you find her and bring her back? You go, you find her, and she's with another group of people. She ran away from home because they were going to not just marry her off to this other family, but this other family is actually a cousin branch of her family, which means they're married off into incest. And she didn't want that. So now the group has to decide what to do. Go back and say, couldn't find her. Go back with a pinky finger and go, oh, we found a little bit of her. She's dead. Or something like that. Or bring her back kicking and screaming. What are you going to do? Ha ha. You're a bad guy either way.
And this is how you can use any one of these adventures to make your own stuff. If because my players have the book, they'll read this. Well, now you got a perfect example of how you can change it.
Yep.
All right.
These just give ideas. That's what the hook, line, and singer's for. Just to get your personal GM brain juices flowing. Alter it as you wish.
All right, go ahead and roll percentile dice, Heathen Dog. I'm gonna have you do this twice, by the way.
74.
70. Oh my God, that's gonna be like 9 pages down. By the way, yes, it's 1% per roll.
So there's over 100, obviously.
Yep. Plus you have those 18 adventures where, okay, here we go. Dimensional. Oh, you get to have a dimensional anomaly. This is great.
Yay.
74. Dimensional energy surge brings instant trouble. There's an unexpected flash of light or a pea soup thick fog that lasts 1d4 minutes, but when the characters can see again, there's someplace else within the border of Dinosaur Swamp. Usually somewhere in the swamplands. You are now in the Carolinas.
Suck.
And all you wanted to do is take off that armor and rest for the night.
Yeah. I wanted a home cooked meal, a bed. I was just about into town. And now I'm not.
All right, go ahead and roll percentile dice again.
All right, rolling again. 16.
All right. I scroll back up. Fun times. Bet there. Oh no, how did it... Oh, hold on here. Where am I? I don't know where I am anymore.
Yeah, you lost us.
I lost me. Highland family. Oh, here we go. Oh, there are a hell of a lot more adventures. I said there are 18. There are a hell of a lot more. I got to be honest. I skipped a lot of the NPC sections of the book. Well, now I see there are a bunch of
16.
hook, line, and...
Stay on track. 16. Yep.
I'm just letting people know that there are a bunch of hook, line, and sinker adventures even in the other parts of the book. 16, that's 17. So right here. Evidence of a battle with dinosaurs. A hunting party of barbarians lay slaughtered on the ground, the victims of a raptor attack. Only the raptors haven't eaten most of them, which is very strange. A short while later, the player group runs into a barbarian tribe that is tending to their wounded after a vicious attack. 9 of the monsters slain during the onslaught lay in a pile. The barbarian explains that an angry raptor king came to the village demanding something it called the Rod of Power and Destruction. They told him they knew nothing about such an item. The Raptor King accused them of lying and sent 24 tiger claw raptors against. Remember, they have the ability to control. They have that psionic ability to control
anything called a raptor.
Yep. When the battle suddenly stopped, the warriors had killed 9 and wounded several others, but the dinosaurs had no reason to stop. They were winning. The tribal leader also notes that 3 of his warriors were missing. Three young men who had only recently returned from an expedition and claimed to have discovered a place of dark magic. Could they have had the item the Raptor King was looking for? Or perhaps they know where it is. What will the Raptor King do? Remember, it likes humans for technology, food, slaves, and worship. Is there a difference between worship and slave? Just curious. Or what will the Raptor King do with this item once he gets it? Should someone try to stop him, or at least investigate while a number of Raptor minions are at a reduced level? A barbarian can't. Barbarians can't. They are too shaken up and have too many injured. What about the player characters? There's a whole lot of words here for you to come up with a ton of side adventures.
Yes. Yes, there is.
So there you go.
Whole day adventure right there.
101, apparently, roles. And some of these even have sub roles within them. Let's see if we come across one. There we go. Sub roles. So lots of things to go. If you are out of ideas for adventures, here you be. And then here are more hook, line, and sinkers. And this is where it actually talks about the hook, line, and sinker is. I'd have done it a little differently than this, but I guess this is common to riffs, so there you go. All right, that is all we're going to talk about. Again, we're not going to talk about the Haroon Pirates. That's something that I think would be better discussed off of a different book. We're not going to talk about the NPCs. That's why I actually didn't realize that there are even more adventures in this book. This book, it's called Adventures in Dinosaur Swamp, and it's not kidding. I was going to tell you that there are about 120 adventures. Well, now I'll probably tell you there's about 150 adventures in this book.
All right.
Enough to keep you playing for a long, long time, if that's what you want to do. So let's close this out. Can you stop the presenting because I can't see it? So my final comments on this before we get to super chats are, of course, I'd like to have all my information in a single book. But with that said, I would tell you that World Book 27, Adventures of Dinosaur Swamp, is an amazing follow-up to World Book 26, Dinosaur Swamp. As someone who I don't get into riffs, sorry, but I don't, like many of you guys do, you get into riffs, I don't. I thought these books were fantastic. As I mentioned, a couple of quibbles of what I thought was, missing information in the first book that they put here. And I love it that it's 26 and 27. It isn't like 26 and 49 where I had to wait 10 years for it. Good stuff in this book. And ultimately, while I was bouncing back and forth to present specific information in these videos, I had no trouble reading or following or using the information as written. I think they really are great books. And I highly suggest World Books, both 26 and 27, for both your MDC Rifts games, Phase World, right? Or your SDC After the Bomb or alternate history, style campaigns. I'm sure, nerds playing Nightbane. I'm sure you can find some things in here that are great for Nightbane as well.
Okay.
All right. What do we have?
Let's look at some of our starred comments here, and we got Riffs Japan and Riffs England.
Okay.
Have Millennium Tree breakdowns. I think it was first in Riffs England.
So Violence Sells Everything says
Mystic China has some stuff about Millennium Trees too. There are several Millennium Trees all over the planet, and if your source book covers an area that has one, it will cover Millennium Trees again, which I like.
He says it was first in Rift's World Book 3 England. That's where it was first appeared. It sounds right. That sounds like something that would be in that book.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Grizzly Beardo says, these two books are ones that never interest me before. I just didn't think that the region of Rifts would be that much fun. I was wrong. I'm going to pick these up. Outstanding. Good job.
Do me a favor and go ahead.
That's the thing with a lot of Rifts books. You're like, that doesn't immediately jump out at me as something I want. It doesn't blow up my skirt, But then you read it, whether it be chance or a free PDF or whatever, and you're like, damn, that's got some good stuff in it. Like for me, I for the Palladium grab bag for the Christmas box, I got the Russia source book. Not Russia, sorry.
Sovietsky?
The Sovietsky.
So did I. That's awesome.
Yes. And I just wanted it as a Russian supplement, right? And I read it, I'm like, God damn, this is pretty good.
I got it for the robots because people told me I had a lot of good robots in there.
It does. The Russians are no joke. I mean, it's cold. The winter is cold in Russia. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. And they adapted to it by being badass, hard-nosed mofos. That's what they did. And so I liked it a lot. So yeah, you can really get a lot of stuff you weren't thinking you were going to get from a book.
Keep that up. So keep that up for a second. Okay. So first of all, Riffs books. So I struggle with the Riffs books. Yes, there have been a couple that he not covered that I was like, okay, that was much better than I thought it was going to be, and that might be on my list at some point in the future. I'm very rarely enthralled. I mean, Vampire Kingdoms, I probably will never have that unless it's given to me or something. Same with New West. I have zero interest. There's nothing in it that I'd want at all. Some of the books have pick and choose things that are good, but ultimately, as not a Rifts guy, they don't grab me like some. This surprised me how much these two books grabbed me. You know, remember, Heathen Dog covered, and probably better than I did, covered a ton of these books. I'm more in it for the equipment and so forth. But yeah, but here's my follow-up to that. Do me a favor. I know this might sound selfish, but it really does help us. And in talking with them behind the scenes, they like to hear it as well. Let them know that you're buying. If you can leave a comment, let them know that you bought them because of watching our videos.
That'd be great.
And that's not just an advertising ploy. It's something that they consider. Or if you know what, if you watch somebody else's video and you're buying it because of TPS or Glitter Boys or something like that, feel free to mention that to them. They like to know where people are inspiring them to do buy the stuff. So.
Grizzly Beardo says that, oh no, you need to get the Vampire Kingdoms because it teaches you how to make a traveling circus. Yeah,
that inspired me.
Yep, sorry. I'm not going to Pinocchio this one up. That's not happening.
So I don't want to take it away from other people. Like if you love the Vampire Kingdoms or if you love West, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like Palladium vampires, period.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it. But yeah, if you like it, then go for it.
It's absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. TPS is somebody who really hates us, but I'll tell you, it's total party skills. He had a lot of stuff. He broke down Dinosaur Swamp at one point, I think. But because we had Venger on the show one time, he no longer likes us. It's weird. But he's got a bunch of Palladium videos from past years that you can show. Rift specifically, videos you can watch. Anyway, if you like this content, if you prefer Heathen Talk to go back to Rift, if you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Drop us a line, things that you like, things that you didn't like, timestamp stuff, please, so that we know. And yeah, next week, since Heathen Dog does have one more week of Traveler, I am going to cover the Rifts Megaversal Guide? What's it called? I don't have it in front of me.
I think it's the Megaversal Guide, yeah.
Yeah, the Megaversal Guide. Essentially, it's like how to do dimensional space, how to make your own Rifts dimension, how to do what you want in Rifts even more so. And it's not a big book, but man, it's got a lot of information in it. So I can't wait to cover that.